Clemson is 100% correct to not use the portal. Absolutely. I agree with Dabo and his operational choice to completely ignore the portal and this new way to add talent to your rosters and potentially optimize your roster by, addition and subtraction. I agree with him to ignore this, to operate in an antiquated way that does not leverage this in any way, shape, form, or fashion, and rely only on the strength of what they have done with no growth towards the future. I agree with Falconer and his point, and also to Dabo Swinney and his operational presence. Absolutely. Great job, Dabo. Keep that specific thing of not using the portal exactly where it is, because that is the right choice for you. And you know what? I empower you to make the choices for yourself that you think are best. And if you think that is best for you and your program, who are me to disagree with you? Great job, Dabo. Keep doing that exact same thing.
I happen to think that Dabo Swinney has proven to be a great football coach. However, I do not understand this position. I understand the position at the outset of the transfer portal, if we go back 3 years, in a sense, in saying we still want the foundation to be high school recruiting and then supplement with the transfer portal before any of us knew how crazy it was going to be. But clearly, we see the best teams in the country have significant contributions from transfer players. I don't know how they're going to be able to keep that up. I would expect, I don't know if he's just flat out stubborn. He can't be that. I'm not even going to use the word stupid. It's the first one that comes to mind. Naive or just
Obtuse,
stubborn or just not understanding or seeing what's happening.
I mean, hey, I don't know. But like I said, who are me to disagree with Dabo making the choices to do what is best for his program? But yeah, ignoring that. I mean, like, there are clear holes on the roster that can be plugged with transfers. I mean, we've seen it in so many places. But hey, and like the foundation of the Miami Hurricanes roster is recruiting. Full stop. Like, yes, we are sprinkling in the transfers on top, but this is not the mercenary look that Deion Sanders is taking at Colorado, where he brings in a handful of guys who, in a normal year, Jordan Seaton's probably not a 5-star because maybe he ends up being that guy, but like in a normal offensive tackle year, like 2 years ago with like Pancake Okunlola and Maui Noah and Caden, what's his face from Alabama, bro. He's not a 5-star like that, but it was a little bit of a down year and everything cool. But like, I don't know that he even stays a tackle. Maybe I'm wrong on that. But then you have only a couple of other guys. You just had a starting safety who's going to go into the portal from Colorado the other day and everything. He's not building a program. He's building teams of mercenaries. And it's a great sound bite to say, yeah, I don't do in-home visits and I don't visit schools because I'm Deion Sanders. And if I go one place, then the other schools are going to feel some kind of way. And You think that Nicholas Marquand Saban didn't have that? You know what I mean? I don't know that his middle name, but like, you think that, when he was coming down here to recruit Gervin Hall, this is Nick Saban, right? He landed the helicopter on the football field at Palm Beach Central, right? And there's more football talent in South Florida you can shake a stick at. And he went from there, and then he had a St. Thomas, and he had a Central. I don't even think he went to Central, as a matter of fact, right? But he went to the schools that he went to, and then left. And then, look, I'm going to send you an email. I'm going to give you a call, Coach. Maybe we hop on the Zoom. Coach, look, love your program, whatever you have going over there at Homestead Senior High School with the Broncos. Love that. It's just a little bit too far south, all the way by the Keys. Wasn't able to get down there. But you know what? We're going to have a coach's clinic in June. We'd love to see you out there. Continue to You can do all of that. You think come on, man. You are not the only coach in the game. You think that Kirby Smart goes anywhere in the state of Georgia, any district, and they just say, oh, it's cool. You went to Carrollton, but not to West Carrollton. That you went to, Grayson, but not East Grayson or whatever the neighboring school is. He's not the only one. And he has this prime time view of himself. And I get it. But like, what he is voicing is a concern that everyone has. You think Mario Cristobal is going to go somewhere, right? And then if Mario Cristobal went out to Bishop Gorman in Las Vegas, you think that he's not going to Desert Desert Palm, I think is the high school that what was his name? Number 0 for Georgia, Darnell Washington went to, right? You think they're going to be okay with that, right? It's just, this is a thing that everybody has to deal with. But then saying, okay, cool, I'm not going to visit anybody. I'm not going into anybody's home for a recruit. So no, sit there on the couch and Howard Schnellenberger leave the pipe on I'm not doing any of that at all. No, none of those visits, no school visits, because I'm worried about what the regional fallout will be if I go to this school and that school and not this other school, because apparently he doesn't have a communications department that understands how to leverage communications and a high school relations staff that is building all those relationships, and then you sprinkle Deion on top. No, he doesn't have that. So what is he doing? Spending that NIL money, all that Fox TV money from the early September games where they had those ratings. He's spending that money to build a mercenary squad, but to build a program, or in the words of Kevin Steele, a program that will maintain itself over time when you have attrition by graduation or defection or other, and then you replace them with someone else. He's not doing that. But luckily for you and me, Miami Hurricanes, alums, fans, supporters, all of that, Mario Cristobal is taking a very different approach and basing everything around high school recruiting and sprinkling in a little bit. And then you have Dabo, who started this whole conversation, who's doing the high school recruiting, and then that's it. So, basically taking that chicken out of the pack, putting it on the tray, and then roasting it. Not any salt, not any pepper, not even a little paprika, not even a little Italian seasoning, just chicken, oven.
Should I stay or should I go? I think that's how the tune went, right? It's been a minute since I've heard that. Okay.
And I believe that's in the native original key. I don't have perfect pitch, but I have good relative pitch. I believe that might be right.
I give Dabo credit for sticking to his morals, unlike Saban, who quit and is now crying because he couldn't outpay everyone anymore.
Hey, man.
Before you jump in on this one, Cam, though, the term morals here, I think, is a bit strong. Maybe his principles, his approach, his philosophy. I don't think there's anything moral about it one way or the other.
I agree with that. I mean, it is kind of splitting hair semantics, but I think in that case, the words do matter. In terms of Saban, yeah, he was not getting the Saban discount anymore. And look, I said on this show here that first of all, I said that they were going to lose to Michigan in the playoff. And I said that the next 2-loss season was going to be Saban's last year, come hell or high water. I didn't know that I was so right that it wasn't even not the next one past this one. The next one counting this one was going to be the last one. So I was even more right than I thought I was. But yeah, the landscape has changed completely, and I made the point before, but even with, college basketball, you don't really have these really superstar head coaches anymore. And it's going in that kind of a direct of that same age cadre, your Jim Boeheim's, your Roy Williams's, he's a little bit younger, but Jay Wright still, he even stepped away. And then you're looking at, Saban and others, and you look at the next group of elite coaches, Kalen DeBoer, is younger, than Saban. So is Kirby. Dan Lanning is still the 6th youngest head coach in FBS at only 38 years old. And I say that because I'm past that. You know what I mean? And he's doing great things. But yeah, the landscape is changing. And then Saban looked out there and said, you know what? I have all of this success to my credit and all of this money.